Howdy y'all. Update on the Brumbar again. I'm just kidding with that. Just a big eraser. Picked it up at the dollar store, but it cost $1, but it's handy for a couple of different things. If nothing else, a paperweight. But for really big mistakes, there's that. SOG Tomahawk. You want a sprue cutter? This is a sprue cutter. Anyway. It's all fun and games until someone loses an eye. Then it's a party. I got the shrews and rail off. I've reattached it. And got some more paint on stuff. So now I can get on with some detail painting. And then I'll give it some clear and get on with the weathering. Tracks are on too. They were ready to go. And that annoying little piece fell down in there. I'll take it off when I get the shroozing off. I'm just figuring out where I'm going to put some stowage. And it's not on entirely right. These end ones are a real pain to get on because of the downward angle. But I know everything fits, so I just have to fit it properly when I get around to the final assembly. What I'll do is I'll share my thoughts on degluing stuff, which I have to do on these little joints here. I don't know if you can see them. Tiny little buggers. Anyway, most important thing I found so far for getting stuff unglued is Tamiya cement. And it's not a cure-all. You do need a sharp knife. You have to sit and cut, create a score, put in some Tamiya, let it melt a little bit, cut again. Just what this stuff does is it basically welds stuff. It turns it into a thick goo. And it won't go down any further than the first little bit because you've not got a gap. It's not like gluing, say, these two sticks together where you've got a gap that exists for it to get into. Okay. Once it's glued together, they're bonded. You've got to start a little cut. The glue will get in there. And then you've got to open it up a little bit deeper, a little bit further down. And eventually it'll come apart. So I'm not sure how you could deglue or separate stuff that has been glued with anything else. If you do know how, share it with everybody. We'd all love to know. The problem with doing it this way is there's sort of a perfect time. I don't know what it is. I don't think there's a formula for it. But as you go, you end up with that gooey, gluey plastic between the two parts. And when you separate them, it may stick to one side or another. On this one, the parts were so small, I did have a couple of lumps of the goo left. They were so small I couldn't sand them down without risking damaging some of the other parts. It's a little ledge underneath the ones further back, not on these ones, the front ones. So I had to live with it. It wasn't too bad, as you can see. Slide right along there. They all came out pretty good. You can't tell he's ready to take that hatchet to it. Yay. 3D. Woo. And remarkably enough, Dragon, let me see, let me get some light on it, gives you this one, which is the one I've kind of gone with. Still gotta get the decals on. The worm, or sorry, that one, with the worm. And there's only one book I've been able to find on the Brumbar, this thing. It's a pretty good book. I think all the pictures are 1/35th scale and multiple drawings. There you go. You're getting more everything. I'm getting a different angle than you guys are. Sorry. This one. It does cover the changes between the early, mid, and late production quite well. I'm not a fan of the layout, but I'll get to that in a minute. But they seem to have used the same principles as Dragon, or Dragon used this book, I'm not sure which. But this was really handy for me because they cover all the sides plus the top view. So I just penciled in the worm and then spray painted it on. Don't mind the book so much. Most of the pictures, even the new ones, are black and white. Obviously the stuff in field is not going to be color. What annoys me is the way they've dealt with the pictures. Instead of putting the description underneath the picture, they tell you photo 102, or sorry, 152, and then you've got to go back. Where'd it go? That's that one. That's at the front. Keep forgetting. And then you got to look up. All the descriptions are on one page. So just to find out, it's a crew of Sturmpanzer 2, or Sturmpanzer, whatever, unit 216 takes a short break. They could have put that under the picture easily enough. I don't know why they didn't. The other thing that's quite interesting with the Brumbar is they actually put together entire combat units of nothing but Brumbars. As you can see, units of 4 of them, a sort of a squad, 3 squads I think it is, sort of form the equivalent of a platoon, and so on. You figure one of these beasts that's designed to knock down buildings or really smash buildings that are already damaged would probably be better off with another tank in support, in case they came across another tank or something that didn't need quite so much explosives put on it. Or perhaps even one of these built with the gun removed and a flamethrower in place to really take advantage of the destruction you've done to a building if there's people still hiding in it. But that's the way the Germans did it. A bit of crap there. Strange way of doing it. Not the way I do it, but then again, my military experience is limited. I just rely on common sense, which sometimes doesn't work that well. But anyway, next time you see this, I'll have it clear coated. I'll have some decals on it, and I'll be working on the weathering. But I thought I'd end the suspense for everybody. I know you've probably all been losing sleep over the last 3 or 4 nights, wondering if I could save it or how it'd look when it's done. So there it is. Get a good night's sleep. Take care. Bye.